Explorer, thanks for joining us again and welcome to our channel. Today we are looking at the 10 cocoa producing countries in the world. But before we get into that, hopefully you watched our previous episodes and also you had some time to review our videos. Before we get into that, we're going to look into the general aspect about the cocoa production. There were over 5.2 million tons of cocoa beans produced in 2017, supplying an ever-increasing worldwide demand for chocolate. The global chocolate market was valued to be over $103 billion. That's in 2018, and it's expected to grow to 2019 to 2020. And that should be looking at just over 161 billion, projected to be in 2025. So which countries are feeding this huge demand and are satisfying the worldwide love of cocoa? So that's what we shall be looking at the moment. If you are joining us for the first time, we want to thank you for watching, and also please subscribe and share our videos to your different network. There are actually over 10 varieties of cocoa, but most people consider were to be over just 3 types. The Forastero, the Robust, and the most widely grown, which is called the Criollo. The higher quality but more expensive, and finally the Trinitario, the hybrid of the other 2 products. There are also a few other varieties, but we're going to focus on the very most important ones that are well known. The Forastero. Forastero is the most widely grown variety, making up over 80% of the world's cocoa production. It originated in the Bahia region of Brazil, but is now grown in Africa and also in Southeast Asia. The Criollo type. Criollo is generally deemed to be the highest quality out of all the varieties of cocoa, but also the most expensive. It is rarely and also grown far less commonly around the world because it produces lower yields than the other varieties, and it is prone to fungi, diseases, and also pests. The third type of cocoa is the Trinitario. Trinitario is a hybrid of Criollo and Forastero cocoa. It takes some of the best traits from the both. It has aromas and also some kind of fine flavor from Criollo and the hardiness. It also produces high yields and resistance to diseases and also. Without any much ado, we're going to go straight to the top cocoa producing country by starting with number 1. Number 1, Ivory Coast. The Ivory Coast is by far the largest cocoa producing country in the world, supplying over 30% of the world's cocoa beans of over 234,000 tons. That's just over 2 million, you have to say, in 2018. The cocoa industry is hugely important to the economy of the country, as it accounts for over 40% of its export income. It's a vital crop for the government and the people of the country, which roughly employs 600,000 farmers, and 6 million people rely on the industry to survive. The growth of the industry hasn't come without any struggle. They have had so many issues to deal with in the mass deforestation, world-related issues, bad weather problems, financial difficulties, and also child labor. But the good news is that they have signed a pact with their neighbors Ghana to provide any further deforestation issues for the cocoa industry and to improve the interest of their farmers. Number 2, Ghana. Cocoa is the main cash crops of Ghana, taking up over estimated 1.9 million hectares of land and supporting an over 800,000 people that makes the living from cocoa sector. Ghana is the second biggest cocoa producer countries in the world with 884,000 tons in 2017, 2018 projected higher, generating about over 2 billion in foreign exchange annually. More than 70% of that being exported to Europe, America, and a quarter of it being processed within the country. They have announced plans to increase processing of their own beans to over 50% and participation in the Ghana and open market to make sure that a new $60 billion factory is built in the country. Number 3, Indonesia. Indonesia expands rapidly into cocoa industry that's over the last few decades to become the third biggest cocoa producer in the world. Despite the fact that hardly grew cocoa before the 1980s, Indonesia produces over 659,000 tons of cocoa in 2018, making it their fourth largest agricultural export. The country also uses roughly 1.5 million hectares of land for cultivation of cocoa, and about 75% of that production coming from the islands of Sulawesi, which is generally known. The rest of their cocoa is also grown in the northern part of the country, the western part of the country, and also the eastern part of the country. It's also 85% of the country's cocoa production is grown by smallholder farmers. Number 4. Nigeria. Cocoa is the largest agricultural export for Nigeria, supporting 300,000 farmers and taking up to 800,000 hectares of land. Nigeria produced over 325,000 tons of cocoa. That's the 2018 figures, representing around 2% of the country's export. The regions that produce predominantly grow cocoa includes Ondo, Ogun State, Osun, Oyo, and Ekiti. They are producing over 60% of the country's total output. Nigeria used to be the second biggest producer of cocoa that's around pre-1970, but this has declined with the discovery of large amounts of crude oil. This country has suffered heavily recently with the collapse in the price of oil and with the fact that they have old cocoa trees, aging farmers, lower hills, and lack of cocoa knowledge with regards to farmers' development. Number 5. Cameroon. West Africa is by far the largest cocoa producing region that's in the world, and Cameroon is fourth largest producing country in this particular region with over 295,000 tons. That's 2017-2018 figures. The sector is vitally important to the country as it is the second largest source of foreign currency and supplies jobs to over 600,000 people. The country's cocoa yields have been steadily increasing actually over the last few years, but not without issues. The country has been suffering internal strife since 2016, particularly in the cocoa producing Anglophone regions. This has led to cocoa farmers abandoning their plantations in order to escape to the violence between the government and the separatists. Cocoa is grown in 8 out of the 10 regions, but chiefly in the coastal zones of the country Cameroon. Number 6 actually, Brazil. Brazil is a vast country and was once a leading producer of cocoa until the deadly fungus witch's broom destroyed the plantations and also disseminated the industry in the 1990s. Brazil went from a cocoa production of over 400,000 tons to just over 160,000 tons in the 1990s. That pushed them to reduce the certain amount, just over 144,000 in 2003. They have recovered slightly with over 300,000
so as we set up
tons
Agronomica,
in 2018.
we're introduced through IDA
Surge of
to
new
FMO.
planting.
FMO
Brazil
has its own
National Association of the Cocoa
smallholder
Farming
finance
Productions
facility.
expect to
And
nearly double the
well, we are
production
happy they like
by
that project,
2025.
and
Brazil
they
famously
have
grow cocoa
agreed
in the
to
state
provide
of
us with
Bahia,
wholesale financing
also a
for
large extent to the
Agronomica,
Amazon
for our
basin,
finance company.
and in
Our
also the
vision
Santo
is
Espiritu
to
region.
establish
The country is well known
50,000
for
hectare
growing and
network
also
of
Forastero variety, which we mentioned
supported
earlier.
by 20 to
Number 7,
25 by
Ecuador. People have been processing and consuming cocoa for over 5,000 years actually in Ecuador, which has discovered from chemicals reduced found on ancient pottery. More recently, Ecuador produced over 209,000 tons of cocoa. That's the 2017-2018 figures, which makes them the 7th largest cocoa producing country in the world and earning them over 700 million to their economy. Ecuador cannot compete with the West African countries when it comes to the volume, but they can compete with them when it comes to the quality. Number 8, Peru. Cocoa most likely originated in the Amazon basin around Peru, and now Peruvian chocolate is considered to be some of the finest in the world. They, like Colombia, have had to fight the allure of the cocaine trade and the highest income offered by the cocoa plant. However, the government is encouraging the cultivation of cocoa and also emphasizing the growth of illicit crops. Peru produced just over 121,000 tons of cocoa in 2017 and is seeing a rapid growth each year. Over half of the cocoa's exports are beans are over 20% being organic, and also there is made up of post-processed products such as cocoa butter, liquor, powder, and also husk. Number 9 is the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic is the largest cocoa producer in the Caribbean with over 86,000 tons, that's as of 2017-2018. It is a leader in sustainability and also fair trade and organic cocoa. The cocoa industry is clearly important to the economy of the island, as it is sustained over 40,000 farmers, employs 350,000 people, and also earned a country over 261 million. That's the result of 2016 to 2018. That projected number expected to grow further. The island is aiming to considerably increase its cocoa yield, and the last decades have grown their cocoa exports to over 322%, and they aim to triple that by 2026-2027. The last but not the least is Colombia. Colombia is the 10th largest cocoa producers in the world. That's the worldwide yield in terms of they produce over 56,000 tons of cocoa in 2018, grown on over 200 acres of land. The industry supports a livelihood of over 50,000 farmers that each cultivates an average of 3.5 hectares. Colombia produces some of the finest cocoa beans in the world, and they are mostly grown the highly sought after Criollo, the Trinitario we mentioned earlier, the varieties. It is grown in the region of Santander, the north of the Atico, and also the south of the country. The cocoa industry in Colombia has had the nearly impossible task of competing with the drug trade. This trade fights for use of the same land and pays a fair higher income in cultivating the illegal crop. So that's all what we got for you today with regards to the world's top cocoa producing countries, and we hope that we've informed you, and we are looking forward to meeting you again. If you feel there is a country that we've left out in terms of our assessment, we would like to hear from you. Please, if you're joining us for the first time, subscribe, share our videos to your different network as we grow our platform. Again, thanks very much. We're looking forward to meeting you soon again.